Welcome to the Tied Together podcast, where we feature everyday people doing extraordinary things. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share so others can join in on the conversation too. Today's guest knew something about himself that his early environment did not reflect. Growing up in the inner city and around gang members and violence did not convince Brandon to follow the beaten path. Instead, he decided he would dream up something big for himself and bring others along for the ride. Today, aside from working a full-time job, Brandon is a fitness coach and motivational speaker. They say you create time for the things you want, and Brandon is squeezing the absolute most out of his 24 hours. Please welcome Mr. Motivation himself, Brandon McCullen.
Thank you so much for having me. That intro is dope. I'm taking you on the road when I become global. You coming with me. I need this.
I will definitely be your hype man. I will be your hype man.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So you are now a fitness coach. Before we get into that, what inspired you to even want to get into fitness?
Actually growing up, seeing it's funny. My family, half is athletes, half they aren't. Like we have people in our family who went professional, play for professional teams. And then just growing up, you'll see them down and like, what happened? What did you eat? Where'd he go? And growing around and seeing, majority of my family just kind of just unhealthy and eating unhealthy. And I would honestly just drop down on the ground and start doing crunches. My mom will laugh. She'll tell you the story. I'm like, I'm not going to be like y'all. I'm going to be healthy. And I'll just start doing crunches. So literally from seeing everybody around me and going, I don't want that. That's literally where it started at a young age in my mind.
Yeah. Sometimes when you see things in your environment that you don't like, that is the motivator. It's
a trigger for you.
Yeah. It's not always the great thing, the awesome thing that I want to be like that. It's seeing things and saying, I don't want to be anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I had moments like that in my upbringing, not to do with fitness, but with credit card debt, right? So a lot of my family had $10,000 and $20,000 and $30,000 worth of credit card debt. And I was just like, that sounds like a lot. So I'm not, right.
My chest started thinking about that.
Right. So now you're into being a fitness coach. Tell me what that's like. What is it like to push people to be their best physical selves?
It is one of the most, it's a feeling I can't really explain. It's amazing to see someone else be successful and know that I'm a small part of that success. And I tell everybody that I work out with, I'm really not motivating. I'm really not working out your body. It's your mind. If I can just get in there and change how you see yourself, change how you see working out, it's an easy transition because then you start seeing results mentally. Like I push myself to do something. And when that person goes, oh crap, I did it. Oh my God, I couldn't even move that way. And now working out with you, I did it. I always go, nope, it wasn't me, it was you. You just literally locked in. But once they smile and once they, after cussing me out for making me do all kind of workouts, they're like, man, thank you so much. I love it. I love how I feel. And when they give me that, that's like, yes, that's part of my purpose. Like I made you feel good about yourself. I gave you something that you can take and just blossom with. I love that feeling. And every time I work out with somebody, it's just like, I want that. I want that for them. I want them to understand how much power they have in themselves and they can unlock so much if you just believe and push and work hard and, just put your head down and work. Even though you might not think that you can do anything I'm doing, I'm like, trust me, you can. Just, it's going to take a little bit more effort, but you'll get there.
Yeah. You say you're changing their mind. So what is the common thought pattern that you're running across that is stopping people from working out in the first place?
I can't. They can't get past I can't. They'll see me doing something and look at me and go, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. How my body is set up, they'll give me one of those. And I'm like, no, we're going to do it together. And then we'll start with the modified version and then we'll do it. But that's the biggest hurdle is seeing me do something and going, I can't. And once you say that word, once you utter that, you stop. Everything about you stops because your mind has locked into, we're not going to do it. And when you train with me, it's things you can't say. I want, I can't. If you say those two things with me, we doing burpees. The whole workout, we just going to do burpees until you, I want to get that out your mindset.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's just a mental block.
Yeah. And do you see their faces light up when they get over that I can't, when they finally realize that they can?
After they gasp for air, yeah, it happens. It clicks. They go, oh shit. You'll hear curse words. You'll hear what? You'll hear this excitement, this joy, and then you'll hear, I did it. And then you'll see me go crazy and clap for you because I want to give you that positive feedback. You know, once you do something and you got somebody cheering you on, it just makes you go, yeah, let's go, let's do it again. And I love doing that part. I love giving them that positive encouragement after they accomplish something they thought they couldn't.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense that you would go from being a fitness coach to motivational speaker because you were already inspiring people to do things that they didn't believe they could do before and wanting to see the best out of people. But when did you realize that what you were doing then, the fitness training, could translate into being a motivational speaker?
I mean, it took so long. It honestly, motivational speaking wasn't even on my radar. But I've been kind of not groomed, but I've been doing it for so long, I didn't even notice it. And actually, I was in Vegas, and I lived in Vegas for about 4 years, and I did retail in Vegas. And one of my associates, she came to me and she said, you know why I like when you coach me? And I was like, why? She was like, because you'll tear me down, and then you'll build me back up. And that's always stuck with me. And I only talk about that because it makes me go, I've been doing this for so long. All my jobs, all the people I've worked with, I've always been that way. And when I got into fitness, people just started asking like, hey, do you speak? And it was just like, yeah, I'm talking to you right now. Like, no, do you speak? Like, do you go and talk to people in organizations? And I'm like, hell no, I don't do that. And I'm like, you should. And so I got so much good feedback from people saying I should. It made me start more diving in, looking at it. And then I started Googling people. I started YouTubing people. I started watching. And I went, this is something that I do all the time. It's something, let's try it. Let's see if I enjoy it. Let's see if it's an avenue that I really, really like. So I kind of practice on the people that I work with. I would give them like maybe 30-second little speeches after I work out with them and seeing, you know, how they move and how they reflect on it. And I started with my friends. I started with family. And, you know, it went from there. And then I actually started enjoying it. And that's the biggest part is you have to love what you do. You got to find that spark, that passion for it. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, it's a job now. And I just tried it and I didn't like it. But when I start speaking to everybody and trying it out, I start falling in love with it. I fell in love with being able to inspire in a different way, not physically, but tap into something inside you and speak to you here with my experience. And it sparks something because it's also therapy for me. I get to talk about things that I've been through in my life, and some people not even understanding that it's really me. I'm talking to myself. I'm speaking about things that have happened, the craziness, and I hope you can relate because this is how I came out of it. This is how I found something that sparked, and I went, I can do this. I've overcame this. I can make it through this, and so that's where it came from. It came from just other people giving me that good feedback and me going, let me see something. Let me try this out. Let me go to this next step and see if I'm actually interested in it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Tell me about your first speaking engagement, what it felt like getting up there before you even said the first word.
Felt like my heart was going to leave my body, my soul left. Everything was gone. I felt like my footsteps moving, but I wasn't there. I was watching my feet. I'm like, damn, you about to go speak, huh? Ooh, it's about to get real.
How many people were in the room?
The first time it was about 50 people. So it wasn't really small, but it wasn't really big. It was 50 people. And it was people I never knew. I knew maybe one person, a person I've been speaking with, but had no clue who they were, which is good and bad because you kind of then you don't look at it as someone can criticize you, but then you look at it as, oh crap, if I don't knock this out the park, how am I going to relate to that person that's sitting there that I have no idea about? And I got up there and the first thing I said was, hey everybody, I am completely nervous. And everyone started laughing. And I was like, I just wanted to be honest with you guys and tell you guys, this is going to be a roller coaster for all of you and for me. But you're going to come out of this knowing and loving yourself and feeling motivated. And just being completely honest with them, it helped me just level out in calm, and then I got there and be what I love to do best.
Yeah. Yeah. I spoke to somebody recently about being your authentic self and how you are better received when you're just honest with people, when the original version of you and not
Yeah,
putting on a facade of being somebody else. People really like originals. So I
yeah,
can really appreciate the fact that you were honest and then the crowd received that and was open to you speaking.
yeah, man. It was something else. It was cool, but it was something else. And then afterwards, they came back, was like, "Man, you were so brave. I appreciate you saying you was nervous." I was like, "I appreciate you sitting in your seat and listening." So so thank you.
So would you say the bug officially bit you at that point? You were ready to keep
Yeah,
going?
yeah, I was hooked. I was like, I love this feeling. I got
That's
so
dope.
much good feedback, and I can, when you can see someone, you can always see when they click for someone. It's in their eyes. It's kind of like a glaze over, and you
Mhm.
know that everywhere you're saying, they're just like, really, and you're like, yes, I'm talking. They're listening.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, so you are currently a motivational speaker. You're
Yeah,
currently a fitness coach, and you
yeah,
currently have a full-time job.
yeah.
How are you managing all of that?
Starting off, honestly, it was just crazy. I would overbook myself, double book myself because I wanted to do so much. I would have work and then I would book myself with a client within 30 minutes. And I'm smashing on the freeway trying to get there and being like a little late, which I hate being late. So I feel like I'm taking someone else's time. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves. I can't stand it. And then having to go speak somewhere and driving through the traffic on the 405. Anybody know the 405? Know it means 4 to 5 hours later. That's how long you're gonna be on that freeway.
Mm,
So just having all that, it kind of exhausted me. So I learned to prioritize. I learned to have that balance and time things out and not chase money because I was in my head like if I could book that person, book that person, and go speak, I'm cashing out. Reality is you're not giving them quality. You're giving them quantity. And I'm having back-to-back engagements. I'm so exhausted. I'm running on fumes. I'm not giving them my best. And it starts to affect who I am and how I am, how I present my brand. And I'm like, you know what? No, I can't. Even though I can cash out, I can make this, I can stack this. Nope. I'm a strategically plan it out so they get the best version of me. I don't want to take away from that experience from that person, whether I'm working out or speaking, because they're valuing me and my time. I need to value them.
right. Absolutely. But what's the point to even pushing yourself in the first place? What's your why? Why do you work the job, do the fitness coaching, and the motivational speaker? You could choose just one. You could.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
Absolutely.
why? Why do you choose to do all of them?
Because everyone says you can. How many times do you hear stay in your lane? All the time. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. That's all you hear. Or you got people who are really good at one thing and they might love doing something else. And the person's like, well, no, make you stay in this. Just stay right here since you're good at this. Hell no. Every time somebody tells you that and you have interest outside, you should do it. So that was my why. It was, okay, cool. I'm good at that, but I'm good at this too. I got other interests. And why can't I? Why can't I? I grew up watching people in my family stay in just one area. My mom, for example, she teaches. She's a teacher. So I was talking to her one time, and she was telling me all these other interests she had growing up in her childhood. I'm like, Mom, what? Like, your kids are grown now. This is your time to, do you. I understand you took care of us, and I'm grateful. But now you can be who you want to be, do what you want. And she was like, Nah, son, I'm cool right here. And in my head, I'm like, I can't make you, but I want you to so bad to just realize you can do more than just one thing and explore yourself because it's your short time here, and I want you to just have no regrets. And that's how I look at it from my why. Like, if I can do it, I'm good at it, and I love it. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it
Yeah.
because I never know where it can lead to, whatever door opportunity or help somebody else. So my why is because someone told me why not. I mean, that's just what it is. Why not? Why can't you?
Yep.
Nothing stop me.
That's always a better question than why. I rather the question, why not? Why
Yeah.
not? If you ask yourself that, then the opportunities just open up.
Right. You're like, you know what, cool, because then you can figure out, you know what, I don't like this shit. I don't I
It's
really don't enjoy this. Nope, this ain't for me. But you never get there if you stop yourself with why, or I'll stay right here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that kind of goes with can't. If you stop at why or you
Oh
stop at
man,
can't, then your brain's not even going to try to think of other options and
exactly.
opportunities.
You've already stopped yourself mentally, so you'll never be able to do it physically.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Were you always this driven?
Yeah, and that comes from competitiveness in my family. Like I
Okay.
said, we people in my family are sports oriented and goal oriented with grades. My my grandfather, track guy, he has records in San Diego that still exist today. And so track meets, he would come out and hold his medals at the end of my race at the finish line, and just to tell me like you'll never be faster than me. My auntie the same way. My mom was he always says is our smartest kid, so she would do it with grades, and for him same thing. So it's a constant. My little brother, we would fight over grades and who got the best grades, and that just kept going, and so it just became who I am. Like you gotta be more than what you think you are. You gotta keep pushing yourself. And then just I give credit to my mom too. Just having talks with my little brother young, and having talks where it's not boo boo gaga, having talks about life and how you need to be better than what you think you can be and how you can. And you just gotta just believe and push yourself. So that was always there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes people lose it with just life. You'll just start, no, I'm okay. You'll get comfortable, and you forget how driven you are. You forget how much pushing yourself and how good it feels to accomplish something.
Yeah, I agree. That's happened in my own life. In my early 20s, I got very comfortable with the life that I have. It was me, my son's dad, and my son. We had a little apartment. We had a little car. We weren't making much, but we were good, you know. And there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with being happy and being and having gratitude for your
yeah,
current circumstances and situation. That's actually a very good thing to have gratitude, but you should never let go of your dreams.
yeah,
At that point in my life, I had really let them go because I'm like, I'm good. I don't really need anything else. And it took something tragic, his passing, for me to finally say to myself, or remind myself rather, that you had goals, you had things you
yeah,
wanted to do. And I finally picked myself up and kept moving. And it's unfortunate that it took a tragedy for me to open my eyes, but I did, you know, and it doesn't take that for everybody. You can wake up right now and say, you know what? I do want those things I wanted when I was 7 years old, and I looked at the television and said I wanted that thing. It's never too late.
yeah. You're absolutely right.
Hmm. So you said your mom taught you a lot about believing that you could do more than you ever imagined.
Yeah.
What about your early environment? Even though there were gang members and violence, but what about it was the inspiration for you to be the Brandon you are today?
Um, it just trying to put myself mentally back in that space as a kid. It was being aware really young, honestly, and seeing it. I had so many friends who are not here today, who were the same age as me growing up. And I guess for me, it was just seeing it. It was being at a school where there was a body in the trash can, and we didn't even know. We was just playing until like literally cops came and roped it off, and everybody had to run into the classroom. Um, and honestly, just keep growing as I grow up more. It's like I got one street red, one street blue. I can't. Shit, I gotta wear gray at this point because I gotta just be neutral. Just going from here to here. So honestly, seeing my environment and being aware at a very young age, going, this ain't me. It's sad, but in the hood, it's a celebration when you make it to 16, and not on some man. I'm 16 on some man. Man, it's crazy. I'm 16. I made it to 18, made it to 21. It's like a life milestone, and not in a life milestone where I'm 21. Let's go to Vegas. A milestone where I made it. Like I lived to see 21. Seeing my friends celebrate that and seeing friends not celebrate that, that did something to me. And I'm like, I don't want to just be a statistic. I don't want to just be like everybody else where I'm just happy just to get to 16, 18, 21. Nah, this ain't for me. I gotta put myself in a better position. I gotta want more of myself. And I got friends that do that and did that. And I'm like, it's not it. I can't be like that.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. And I think a lot of times it's not truly expressed the trauma that the youth go through in the inner city.
Yeah,
A lot of things that they see, their friends that are gone. Um, I mean, the first time I ever saw someone die, I was probably 15 years old.
mm,
And I didn't even realize until this year that it still affects me negatively.
yeah.
At the time,
Compartmentalize it.
yeah, because at the time when it happened, I thought in my head, I was thinking to myself that I shouldn't have a strong reaction because this is normal.
Mm,
But I shouldn't cry, I shouldn't freak out because this is just what happens. You know, if you cry, you look weird. But
yeah,
it wasn't normal. It isn't normal. And there were probably maybe 70 people present when it happened. And I always wonder, I wonder now if the person that shot that guy realized how many people he traumatized
yeah.
just like that. Just like that. But there's a lot of trauma that goes on in the inner city, and to be able to build yourself up and not glorify some of the things, the negative things that you see, and then become that, it takes a certain amount of inner work. You know, it is easy to follow the path of all your peers. If that right, if that's what you glorify, it's very simple, but it takes a lot of inner work to be able to do something else. How did you even know that you were capable of doing more?
Always knew it inside of me. Always. It wasn't even a thought process. It was literally, I'm seeing everything around me. I don't want it. And that's honestly, that's just what it was. And it's a lot of people that I know that grow up knowing that I'm different inside. Like I don't want it in their face with that peer pressure of I want to be like everybody else, so I'm just gonna fall in line with my friends. So I'm left out. Damn that peer pressure. Go your own way. You can still. I mean, I grew up with them. I'm still cool with them growing up. You can still have those people as friends because that's if that's your friends at school, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have that courage to just walk away. Like I'm not gonna put myself in that situation. You might get called corny, lame, L square. All that stuff is gonna happen. You got to be okay with yourself and solid in here and know that that's gonna happen. But that respect is gonna be there. I promise you. Your real
Mm-hmm.
friends gonna like, yo, that ain't for B. That's not him. I'll act that like, nah, B, that ain't you, man. Don't even try that. That's not cool. Nah, leave B out of it. That respect is it because I'm confident in going, nah, I'm cool. I'll see y'all later. All right, y'all have fun. Be safe. I'm out. So you
Mm-hmm.
gotta have that in here and go, I'm different. This don't look good to me. This ain't right. I wasn't raised this way, or this don't feel good in here. Now I'm gonna head out. All right, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
head out.
Yeah.
And you gotta have that. You gotta be strong enough to be able to say this not for me. And all the people that's watching or listening, and kids and adults even, you gotta have that confidence in yourself to know this is not what I want. This ain't for me. Regardless of your situation, circumstances, I don't care what it is. You can choose not to do it. And my choice was, nope, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. To the little boy or little girl coming from any background, really, I was going to say the inner city, but truly any background, if they're
Yeah.
not seeing the positivity, they don't have the mom that is telling them they can do anything, do you think that they still have it in them to be able to achieve greatness?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. Because even though they might not have it there, everything you see, like if you watching TV and you see those people on TV, that should make that your inspiration. If you see a teacher, make that teacher your inspiration because they figured out what they love to do. People on TV figured out what they love to do. They love to act, so that's why they're there. Your teachers, they love teaching, so that's why they're there. Find somebody or something and latch on to it, no matter what it is, and be inspired by that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it as that person has a career choice that they love and they found that passion and lock into it because you might not have it from mom, dad, grandma, cousins, a good family, like you said, upbringing or a solid foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what happens. You reach out to the gains because it's there. You reach out to the negativity because it's there. They're welcoming for you. They have something you want, that brotherhood, sisterhood. Find that somewhere else. So it's there for you. You got it. You already wanted it here. You just gotta find some positivity somewhere and hold on to it and keep it until you are able to put yourself in a better position.
Yeah.
but it's there. And if you don't have it, trust me, you can do it. It's in you.
I agree. I agree. Why do you think it's important, though, to follow a passion? A lot of times, um, people just pick a career from the time they're five
Yeah.
years old and just do that, or they do what mom did or dad did. Meanwhile, they love to draw or they love to dance.
Yeah.
Why is it important to follow a passion?
Because it's exactly what you love to do. In finding it is the most difficult part of it, which is the best part. And it trust me, it is, because you get to experience so many other different things, finding out what you actually do love and figuring out. I don't know, for perfect example, when I was in college, I wanted to be a sports doctor, basically. And because I'm like, I love sports, it's my life. And if I can't play anymore, then I'll have the education to still be around it. So I'll still be around the athletes. I'll still be part of the organization, the team. And I remember talking to the trainer. His name was Shannon, and he was like, "Well, just go talk to somebody who does that." And I did, and I was talking to them, and they were like, "Yeah, so you're gonna have to like put tape on feet, spat basically, roll the ankles." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I'm like thinking that's nothing. It was like, no, you got to realize you got to roll all the ankles. And I was like, those 300-pound fat linemen, them big boys over there with them feet look, oh my, that ain't feet. That's not feet. Literally, that changed my mind, because I was like, I don't touch grown man feet. Feet that got fungi and all kind of, exactly. So I was like, I don't want to do that. And that changed my perspective. Look, I changed my career because of feet, 100%. I wanted to be a professional, a sports doctor, and I saw feet and said it ain't for me. So that was one of those things where you're finding that passion and looking. And some people don't have it because they don't know what they're good at. Try everything. And when you're passionate about it, when you find that passion, it becomes easy because you love to do it. You'll do it in your sleep. You'll think about it. You'll wake up so happy, going, hell yeah, I get to do what I love today. I get to face this challenge. I get to have fun doing it, loving what I'm doing and having fun when I'm doing it. When those two intertwine, it's just easy. That's when that passion comes. It's easy. You can speak to it without even thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love listening to that story about you wanting to be in that field and then saying feet, that's not it. But okay, so you're a fitness coach right now and a motivational speaker. So I'm listening to your story. When you were young, you motivated yourself. You watched your family and, they were overweight, out of shape, and you did your crunches. I'm not going to be like y'all. I'm not going to be like y'all. And you motivated yourself, right? And then you were working out and you played football in college. Is that right?
Yeah, I played every sport you could think of. Basketball, baseball, track. If it was a sport, I was playing, and I was grading all of them. And what happened with football, and my senior year at basketball, I had scholarships with that. I broke my ankle the first game my senior year versus the rival school. All my scholarships disappeared.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I only have football left. And so all these football scholarships, I'm like, well, all right, cool. That's the opportunity that I'm rolling with that I have. Then I got to take it. I got to see it there. So yeah.
But I love that fitness was already something that was in you, and you were really just trying to figure out which hole was round, because you had the circle block. You were just trying to figure out where to put it. Okay, it's not in the health aspect, it's over here, but it was always there, which I think is dope. And sometimes it takes a while for you to realize where it belongs. Where do you put it?
It took so much time. I didn't start off even wanting to help people work out. Literally didn't even care. So it was literally just like right after college, it was, I gotta stay in shape for myself, because my whole life has been sports, school, girls, sports, school, girls. So, and then going to college, it's structured the same way: school, gym, workout. So I was always moving. You get out of college, or you got a situation where you're not moving anymore, you're like, now it's up to me. It's not structured for me. I got to structure it myself. So I have to now put in this energy and effort where I didn't have to even think about it. It's already done for me. That makes it so much harder. And then you're in there by yourself without your friends. So much harder. So those people who are in there working out by yourself, commend you, because I know what it takes. It takes that extra like switch inside to go, I gotta be here. I gotta put in this work. I'm going to do it no matter what. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if nobody's here. I don't care if I'm bored. I'm gonna turn this music up and let me go get it.
Yeah, that speaks a lot to a lot of different fields, really.
100%.
You have to have that inner drive, that inner something that keeps you going when you're by yourself. No support, no push from anybody, just you and your headphones.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So when you decided to be a fitness coach and a motivational speaker, did you have support from your parents?
Yeah, always. So it's kind of interesting. My mom is it's different eras, right? So my grandfather era was big on education. He's like, get degrees. My mom is find you a job, right? Find you something for stability, because that's that era. And so you got me, who does opposite of everything. I'm that child who goes, you want me to do what? No, I'm doing opposite because I don't want to. I don't. That's me. So you have me doing this, and my mom going, all right, son, all right, and my grandpa going, whatever makes you happy, that. So he's like, I know you're gonna be successful, just whatever it is, just go do it. And so you got that support, but sometimes your family don't understand your path. They don't understand why you're going this, and this is, it's such a risk for them. It's out of what they're normally seeing and how they grew up and how they establish themselves. So it's like, I'm gonna support you, but I don't know. Don't lose that good job, and you got it, but you don't. And it's difficult that way when it's like halfway in, halfway out, but they're still all the way in support. And you got to just have that, even if you don't have that support, that belief in what you're doing. Even though it's even more difficult, you got to keep going for you, because you're not living for them and they can't live for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And it, for me, piggies back to your why not? Like, why not me? And that's always been a question for myself. And when I couldn't find people that were doing the things I wanted to do, I turned to YouTube. And I always wanted to watch the zero to hero stories and, the just worst down and out luck to millionaires and billionaires, because I wanted to see that somebody did it so that I could say to myself, I can do that too. If you can do that, I can do that.
Yeah.
If you have two brain cells to rub together, you can do it.
I agree. I 100% agree.
That's dope. That's dope. So a little birdie told me that you are writing a book.
Yeah, I am. So the first book is literally about getting through the week, just having that motivation to get through the Monday through Friday, just grind, right? And I'm up to Wednesday. I got Wednesday and a Thursday and Friday, and I'm done. That's the first on the series that I wanted to do. I literally always wanted to write as a kid. I would write fictional stories. Honestly, Goosebumps, it helped drive that. I got inspired seeing that and going, it's some crazy stuff that being here going on and reading Goosebumps going, oh, that's some crazy stuff. You know what? I can write some stuff. I can write some stuff. And then seeing movies based off books and going, this is just somebody's mind, someone's creativity, and they wrote it down. And someone else said, oh, snap, that's amazing. Why can't I do that? I got all these crazy stories going on in my head, whether it's fictional or nonfiction, and I honestly want to do both. Like I said, there's no barriers with me. So I'm going to give you motivation. I'm going to give you fitness, and then I'm going to give you some nonfiction too. But currently, right now, is the motivational piece of getting someone from Monday through Friday and literally how you do it and how I do it, and giving some people some examples on what can get them over the hump, what can motivate them, what can push them to get to Friday. And then Friday, do not take your foot off the gas. And some people do that. That's the most important day of the week, to be Friday. Not because I'm off, but it's like, okay, everybody else is off. Cool. Now I'm off the.
Yep.
Because I got the opportunity. Everybody's taking it easy. Cool. Please take it easy. Please check out. I'm checking in even harder.
Yep. I love that. And I saw you post something about that the other day, and I'm in 100% agreement with that. Don't let up, because when everybody else is sleeping, you could be outworking them. outworking
Yeah,
them.
100%.
100%.
Because
Yep.
that field is, there's so many people that want to do what you want to do
Mm-hmm.
that you don't even see.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what makes me unique? What, besides my voice, who am I? What makes me different from somebody else? What makes a person more engaged with me? And you gotta find that. And you find that with that sacrifice, that hard work, and not letting up. And it
Mm-hmm.
becomes easier.
Yep. I love how you talked about Goosebumps opening your
Yeah.
eyes to wanting to even write books. And I love books. I'm a reader. But what I love about books is that it broadens your horizons and exposes you to things that you never could have imagined. And movies are similar. I prefer a good book, but a good movie is also any kind of publication is really going to open your eyes up to something. I remember being younger whenever Mr. and Mrs. Smith came out. You remember that movie?
Yeah, with Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this movie. It's a fun movie, a lot of action, and they're on this speedboat or some kind of smaller boat. It looks expensive though. Like they're on this boat and they're going to a party. So they pull their boat up and they pass the valet their keys. And he takes the keys and valets their boat. And I was sitting there like, you can valet a boat?
Right. Next level.
I was like, I didn't know you could do that. I need to
Yeah.
valet a boat. Stat.
Right.
But
Right.
open your eyes to things. And when you see these things, don't say to yourself, wow, must be nice. Don't say that. It can be nice
Whew.
for you too.
Yeah, I hate when people say that. That's like the biggest hater remark, low-key hater remark you can have.
Yes.
Must be nice. It is.
Now, after all the blood, sweat, and tears, yes,
Yeah.
nice. And people do that, and I think it's because they've set limitations on themselves.
Preach.
They don't think that something like that you can work toward and get.
Yeah.
So they think that you're lucky. That's how it sounds
Yeah.
to me. Like, oh well, that must be nice, as if it were given to you somehow.
Luck had nothing to do with it. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
You grind for this.
Yes. Luck, a former manager of mine said, and it's not his quote, somebody else's quote, but luck is opportunity meeting the well-prepared.
Preparation. Yep.
Right. You're not going to get that luck or that opportunity if you weren't prepared for it.
Yep.
Be as lucky as you want. You're not going to have it if you're not ready for it.
I said that too in a post like a month ago. I was like, basically, you're asking God, you're asking the universe for what you want. Be ready for it. Don't just ask. Don't just say, I want this home, I want this new job, I want this new career. But that second part is what you have to do to obtain it and what you have to do to keep it. You're not ready for that. So it's not coming your way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Talk to me about, if you could sum it up, the secret sauce to the pursuit of your dreams. What does it take?
It takes every day I wake up, and before I go to sleep, I'm thankful. And when I wake up, I go, okay, today is the day that it happens. Every single morning I wake up. And today is it, I'd say today is going to happen. And today I pray, let me be better than I was the day before. Those are the two top things I say. And it's repetitive in me. And I have to speak that in myself and say it out loud because it helps me to get through those days where I just don't have it. It helps me get through those days where I'm just like, man, I'm going to go ahead and go back to sleep. Go ahead back into this bed. It helps me when I'm having some problems, family or stressful times. And I'm like, man, I don't got time for this today. You don't have that luxury. You don't. When you want something so bad, when you want to put yourself in a better position, you don't have that luxury to have that day off. You don't. And I know that sounds really messed up, but this is what it is. I'm sorry. And you got to speak those words into yourself. So every day before I move out the bed, I speak certain words to myself. I speak phrases. I pray. I make sure I start my day with, okay, so whatever happened yesterday, don't matter. I got to lock in. And I make myself smile. I give myself that energy to get up to go, all right, let's go get it. So before I get out that bed, it's speaking what I want for the day, speaking how I'm going to be better, praying for everybody, and saying today is the day where everything happens for me. And it doesn't matter if it's not today. I got closer to it. I'm going to get there. because everything I'm chipping away, everything I'm coming with this good attitude and this good demeanor and just overall, just it's going to happen today mentally, and my body's going to move towards that.
That's dope. You're convincing yourself to be positive. You're convincing yourself you're going to win. And I don't believe you can fail if you keep trying like that.
100% agree. Yeah.
Tell me what kind of things you had to, you can say one or more than one, what you had to overcome in order to get to this space.
One of the biggest things I overcome, April 10th, my best friend, Michael, my vet, he is with his then fiance. He proposed on the day before Christmas, or Christmas in Paris. And he is on a bus with kids, and they're going to 5 north to Humboldt State. That's where me and him met. And as he's going north of Humboldt State on a 5, a FedEx truck is coming down south. FedEx truck jumps the barrier somehow, some way, crashed into the bus. It took his life, took Madison's life, and took a bunch of other kids' lives. And this is April 10th, 2014. Yep. And that took so much out of me. This is somebody, and the kids too, rest in peace, their souls. But my friend in Madison, and they were doing something good. They were on the way to help, charter these kids to help themselves and see a different world with education. And it took so much out of me, to be completely honest with you. I lost faith. I lost my faith. Like, he ain't never hurt nobody. Why him? So when that happened, I was living in Vegas at the time. And when that happened, that was also a part of me that said, I need to go back home. I can't be in Vegas no more. No friends, no family. I gotta go back home. And I had to find my faith again from that. I had to get past the anger I had from him not being here, and Madison, his wife, and like they literally were looking forward to their entire life ahead of them. Amazing, beautiful people. She was an artist, and she drew, and he worked with autistic kids. And to have them taken away, and the others that lost their lives, those beautiful kids who had their entire life ahead of them, for them to not be here anymore, just lost my faith.
Yeah, I can understand that. I actually just spoke to somebody about that a few days ago about losing faith. I briefly told you that my son's father passed away, but that did not make me lose my faith. For whatever reason, I knew that God had a plan. He knew what he was doing. But when my sister was pregnant and her son didn't make it, that made me lose my faith. That made me angry. I'm a teenage mom. I wasn't married. I didn't go to college like she did. She did it all in order,
Yeah.
And had the baby. And my nephew doesn't get to make it. I was angry at God. And I know a lot of people go through that where they just don't get it. Why the good one? Why this person? They're out here doing great things in the world, your friend, or hasn't even been here a few minutes, my nephew. And you ask God why, but can you tell me what it looked like to regain your faith? What kind of work you had to put in to get back with God?
It was really difficult, because I came back home and I ended up working. It wasn't something I loved to do. It wasn't something I remotely even liked to do. It was just a job. Just had to do what I had to do just to eat. So I'm working and I'm miserable there. And I'm like, I'm a shell of myself. I'm just going through the motions. It's affected me in a different way, where I'm just there. I don't have no light in me to give anyone else, because I don't have it in me. I'm not smiling, I'm not laughing, I'm just clocking in, clocking out. And I remember, I don't know why, I was outside on my break, and I remember seeing this little sparrow, like clear as day in my head, and it was in this gate, and it went and it stood and looked at me, looked me right in my eye. And I don't know, I got my Dr. Doolittle on, because me and this bird, we was just having a good conversation. And he was like, don't worry about it. I don't know, speaking to animals, it just happened. He just looked at me, and I just felt this calmness. and he just kind of turned, and I saw the beauty in this bird. I literally saw this little creature just going along the way and flying, and his feathers being so pretty, and finding the smallest little insects in his food, and just looked like it was happy as hell, and then flowing off. It stayed with me my entire break. The animal that little bird did not leave. It jumped down, got some food, went back to the gate, looked in my eye. In that moment, it made me see the beauty in life again. It made me find that spark that I had. And that could be the smallest things. And I didn't expect a sparrow to be something that gave me that spark again and make me see the beauty in life. But it was. This little tiny bird just made me go, hey, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. I remember I got a lot to live for. I remember the beauty in things. I remember, I like this. And I started feeling like myself. I started regaining that. Let me pray again. I started regaining that confidence to be who I am and to exist and to live instead of existing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That reminds me of, and I don't remember the scripture. I know people are going to get tired of hearing me say I don't remember who said it or remember the scripture, but whatever, I don't remember. But it reminds me of a scripture where it says, if God cares, and I'm paraphrasing, if God cares about the birds of the air, how much more you?
Yeah.
It was describing how the sparrow, I think it said sparrow, the sparrow does not store up grain and doesn't store up food to eat, but it wakes up every morning with the faith that it's going to be there. And if God could provide for them every single morning, how much more do you think he cares about you? So
Right.
I love that you brought up the bird. That's dope. So coming out of that, and becoming the Brandon that you are today, the motivational speaker, the fitness coach, the soon-to-be author, what surprises you the most about yourself?
You asked some questions when you be like, damn, I didn't even think about that for myself. That's a good question. Honestly, my ability to lock in and focus when I don't like to plan. I know it's terrible. I don't like to plan. I'm starting to strategically put myself in a space where planning out is easier, makes your life easier. I like to go with the flow, but I can focus, and I mean to the point where it's nothing else matters. I lock in and I'll do it. Like if I want to, I don't know, obtain a certain weight. Like I was the heaviest I was maybe like almost 230 for my body frame. And for me, I've never been that big in my entire life weight wise. And I was like, whoa, I've let myself go mentally. I don't have it. And I'm trying to convince myself that I'm okay. It's cool. I'm just going to work out, but I'm still eat what I want to eat. And I'm not being true to what I'm speaking. I'm not living the lifestyle that I'm talking about. And let me lock in, let me focus. And I went just dialed in and went, all right, all the fried foods is gone. All the, sodas is gone. All the candy is gone. All of my vices, chips. Whew. I love some potato chips, man. A chip better run away when it see me. The whole chip aisle. I'd have to lock in and go, what am I doing that's not conducive to the way I want to live? And I super focused in and made it to the point where, I ate just really, really healthy for a long time. I actually went vegan for about 11 days because I locked in so much. I wanted to obtain this goal so much, and I hit it. I hit it really quickly with working out, with feeding positivity inside myself. Like, no, because I know for me, once I eat one bag of chips, the next one's coming. It's coming. It's a Pringles. I gotta have the chips, and then I can go get like a sundae. It gets really bad. I can really eat a lot.
Gotcha. Like spirals.
Yeah, and I know that about myself. I have an addictive personality when it comes to certain things like that, and I love the fact that I can focus and lock in and hit that goal. It's just I put myself in a position where I want to have that focus consistently, not just for that time period, because it's unhealthy. It's really unhealthy to focus in on something for a short period of time, because now you're not living the life that you want. It's the same thing with dieting. People diet and they get that goal, and then the next 3 months they're in the same predicament. It's because you're not changing the way you live your life. And I mentally went, my focus has to be the way I live my life, not just for something I want, but overall. I have to focus in on, narrow it in, bring it in, come here, bring it in, and focus continuously. And that's one of the things that I love my ability that I can do that.
That's dope. Listening to you talk about, losing the weight, realizing that you need to lose weight and change those habits, and that you did it. I always think to myself that winning is addictive, or conquering something is addictive, that once you do it, you have just triggered something in yourself. Like once you've done it just one time, you said, oh my God, I can do things. I can accomplish something I set my mind to. What did that do to your mindset when you put down the chips that you love so much?
I always had that from sports, that mindset. And when I started seeing the results, because I didn't look every day. A lot of people look for that results every day. It's never going to be there. It comes in your work. So I would look at my body and now my weight. I would go, okay, I'm in the mirror. I didn't look in the mirror. And guys don't talk about stuff like that. Girls, women mostly do. Guys don't talk about that. They don't look in the mirror. I didn't look in the mirror. I didn't recognize who I was. I knew for a fact that this wasn't me. I was kind of just comfortable, and I was not living the life that I should when in regards to my health. That's not doing it. I would work out and just eat bad. So I start seeing those results, those smaller results. You might see that V starting to shape, or you might see your arms a little bit more toned. You might see a little muscle right there, and you start liking it. And that's for me. I start seeing my body form back to being where I know I can have it, and that's all it took. And I went, finally, I got that. I got my mojo back. I'm focusing. I have that joy for what I want to do back.
That's dope. That's dope. Brandon, what can we look forward to seeing from you next?
You can definitely look forward to seeing me start doing my website. I've started a website, and I didn't pay for someone to do it for me, which a lot of people do. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to learn how to add the codes and figure it out, because if I pay them to do it, that's great. But what happens when I want to add something to it? I got to go back and pay them again. I don't have the funds for that. And I'd rather build it myself and learn how to do it. And so I'm building a website. The website is going to have so many workouts that I do, and just workout plans for everybody. Because you have people who only can do modified workouts. You got people who are in a position where they can't jump off walls like they see me doing, and doing all the stuff you see me on my Instagram doing. And I want those people to be able to go, you know what, step by step, I can get there, or I can get to my fitness goals. So you're going to have workouts for me on my website that are from kids to, people in their 70s that can actually do them. It's going to be for everybody. And also going to have blogs I'm going to have on there just to help you get through certain fitness things I'm doing, or motivation for the week. And my books, the books I'm writing, they're going to be in there too for people to get. So it's going to be stuff, for motivation, and listen like funny things. Just one of my ideas of, you've ever heard of 3 a.m. thoughts? For me, it's going to be called Dark 30. It's that time of night where you might think of the most randomest stuff just to write down those ideas where you're like, I should write this down. All right, cool. So tomorrow, do it that way. And then you go back to sleep. So just so many ideas in my head that I have that I want to give to everybody else. And it might seem like a broadness for everybody else, not to zero into one thing, but you can do so much. And I want somebody else to see that, oh, he made a book about motivation. Then he made a coffee table book. And then he made a different book, just to see that and go, man, this person he has something for everybody. And be inspired to go, Brandon did it, and I can do it too. Because he's always saying it anyway.
Yep. Basically.
Yep.
You can. And I appreciate that you've motivated yourself enough to go after your dreams, to know what you're capable of and go after it, and know what you're incapable of and fix it. I really like that. Where can we find you so we can get all the updates on what's coming and the current things that you're doing?
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram at B McCullen. I'm on Facebook, Brandon McCullen. I'm on Pinterest, same name, B McCullen. I'm on Twitter, B McCullen. Everything is just my name. So if you go in and put B McCullen, you'll find me in those places, and you can keep track on parts of things I do in my life, some motivations, some fitness tips, and guys. And please reach out. Don't be nervous or scared about any and everything that you might need help on. I get people asking me questions, not about fitness, but about certain situations, how they find motivation, how they deal with stress, things that way. Just talk to me. I'm more than willing to just talk to you and help you, because a lot of people just don't ask. And if you ask, I'll help you. I'm not trying to charge you. I'm not trying to make it off you. I just want to just be able to help you in any kind of way I can, because I think we need more people just to be kind to each other and just help out when they can. It can make the world of a difference.
I love that your heart is really in it, that you really, really want to help people.
Yeah.
Before I ask you my last question, was there somebody that really helped you, that inspired you to be a help to others?
It's from so many people that I was blessed to have so many people in my life that I pulled from. And I pull from everything. And a lot of my inspiration is pulling from someone else and then formatted in my own way. One person, I had a coach, basketball coach from Darby Park, where I grew up playing. His name was Coach Kelly. And he put so much energy into the kids' lives and my lives, and making sure that he's there. He don't leave a kid. The parent's not coming. He's waiting. He's always there. He's always putting more into just coaching, just talking to you and being there for you. Then I have my mom, who she has one of the biggest hearts. I have friends pop up. I didn't know they were supposed to be there. He would knock on my door and go, "I'm hungry." I'm like, "Bring them in. Let's get some food." Yeah. And just having my grandfather who would just be there the entire time and wait. Like, we would want to go home and like, "Nope, your their parents not there yet." Having that person, having seen him wait, and that kindness, and not even, wanting anything back from it. No one ever wanted anything back. They just did out of kindness in their heart. They didn't want any recognition. They just wanted to help someone they saw in need. So seeing those people and so many other people in my life that's done it, it just made me go, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to act. This is how you're supposed to help somebody, because I was able to see it and take from it.
Yep, absolutely. I love that. We're not here alone. And I love that you're reaching back and pulling people with you. So I think that's dope. Dope. Absolutely. My last question, Brandon, what is a quote that you live by?
A quote I live by?
If you have one.
You know what? One of them I actually share with everybody on one of my posts. Excuses get made when you doubt your ability to succeed. And that's something that I don't like making excuses. I don't like people around me making excuses, and I'll just get them like, "Nope, I don't want to hear that. You can do it." When you start saying what you can't do, when you start giving excuses with, "Oh, well, this person did this," or "I was late because of that person," or "You know what? I had this little twist in my neck and I couldn't really do it because of the twist." You're stopping yourself from actually getting to the next level. You're stopping yourself from succeeding. You're stopping all forward progress, and you did that to yourself. No one around you. Nobody put those roadblocks there. And if they are there, so that's just there to push you and figure out an innovative way to get around it, get under, get over it, get through it. Yeah. And if you stop yourself already here, giving yourself an excuse, forget about it. You're never going to get to that next level. You're never going to get to that goal or succeed how you want to.
Yep, I agree. Excuses are a hindrance, and it's because you don't believe that you can win. And I don't know who told y'all that lie that y'all can't win, but
exactly.
Brandon's here to tell you that you can.
Yeah, we in there.
Brandon, thank you so much for being on today. And I look forward to just watching your journey. I've been watching your journey for a few years now, and I can't wait to see even more. I know, I'm not even going to say you're destined for greatness, because you already are great. You're destined for even more greatness.
And this is me waving, because in the next 10 years, someone's going to look back and see this is our beginnings and go, "Oh my God, Keisha and Brandon, look at this." In the next 20 years, when we're sitting on couches, when people interviewing us about how hard we've have to go through things and showing these clips, we're going to laugh and go, Brandon said we was going to be here. So thank you. It is humbling to be even asked to be on your show. I definitely appreciate it. And to see you going out here talking to these amazing people and being a part of this, I am completely honored and grateful and thankful to have you being able to share everyone's experiences, people who you might not even know went through so much and can be inspired by. You're giving everyone a voice, and you're letting everybody shine. And that's so important to have someone to do that. Thank you so much for having me here.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for having the light to allow me to shine it. I really appreciate that.
There we go.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
It's always work. Mm-hmm. So I operate on two principles, right? Character is what you do when no one's watching. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be that person that's just sitting back, lazy, taking advantage of everything or not doing what you're supposed to do when nobody's watching? That's not me. And then excellence. Always autograph your work with excellence. That's me. And in that always autograph your work with excellence, it's work as though you are working unto the Lord versus working unto man. Mm-hmm. When people getting on my nerves on the job, I go, work as though you are working unto the Lord rather than unto man. Work, I say it over and over, work as though you are working unto, because otherwise then you're doing something for them, right? And I'm not. I'm doing something because I will forever produce excellence, and I'm working as though as I'm working unto the Lord rather than unto you. When you do that, the people who you are surrounded by cannot help but to see your greatness. So in honesty, it wasn't like I was like, I am going to climb this corporate ladder. I did what I was supposed to do. I did it with excellence as though I was working unto the Lord. And I was rewarded for it. And I wanted them coins.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, how do I get more money? So each time it was, okay, I need to do this, and if I obtain these skills, this will lead to more money. Mm-hmm. If I obtain this education, this will lead to more money. And I'm doing something I like doing. Mm-hmm. I tell this to young people all the time. I don't care what you choose to do for a living. Love it. Be passionate about it. You have to do it for 8 to 9 hours a day. You should enjoy it. Otherwise, you're living a miserable life. I don't care how much money you're making if you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
I enjoy what I do for a living. And I get paid a lot of coins to do it. Mm-hmm. And the reason that I get paid a lot of coins is because I produce excellence. And because I'm working as though I work unto the Lord.
Yeah.
Period. And people want greatness in their company. Mm-hmm. They want those that are going to produce greatness in their company. And if you're doing it for yourself, if you're an entrepreneur, you should be producing greatness for your clients or for whatever service it is that you are providing. That is what differentiates you from any competitor.